What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the C's News, your go-to spot where we break down everything happening with the Boston Celtics, especially as we continue to wade through the off-season waters. Now, I gotta say, it's been a rough stretch for us Celtics fans lately. The injury bug hit us hard with Jason Tatum going down with that Achilles tear. It felt like a huge punch to the gut, because we all know how pivotal he is to this team. I mean, we built this whole franchise around him, right? Tatum is not just a star, he's the star. And hearing that kind of injury, it's easy to feel that sinking feeling, wondering if the season is already lost, or at least that the window of opportunity is suddenly a lot smaller. But today, I might actually have some good news for you, Celtics fans. I'm not gonna call it a full-on game changer yet, but it definitely feels like a light at the end of the tunnel. That little glimpse of hope that maybe things aren't all doom and gloom. I've been sitting on this for a bit, waiting for more confirmation, and now it seems like it's finally time to share it. It's the kind of update that provides just a small ounce of happiness in what has been a pretty frustrating Boston offseason. So buckle up, because we're going to dig into what's going on with Tatum, some intriguing Eastern Conference player rankings that just dropped, and of course a few quick updates on potential Celtics roster moves and rumors. As always, we'll wrap things up with some of your comments from the last video, so make sure you stay active in the chat. Your input always adds to the conversation and gives us more to talk about tomorrow. Now, if you're new here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the Celtics news or NBA offseason drama that we break down every day. All right, let's get into it. Very rarely do I see a tweet from an NBA news source, especially something like the Dunk Central account. That actually makes me stop and say, okay, maybe something real is brewing here. But that's exactly what happened recently when I came across a tweet from Steve B. Hoop, a senior NBA columnist over at Heavy on Sports. Before I get into the tweet, I want to be honest with you. I might owe some of you an apology from day one. Ever since we started this channel, which was almost right when Tatum's injury happened, I've been telling you all to be patient. There were folks in the chat early on who were super optimistic, saying things like, hey, Tatum got the surgery early, man. This guy's built different. You've seen those shoulders. He's going to come back, and he's going to be back before next season even starts. But I kept telling everyone to relax. I said, let the man heal. Don't rush it. I was trying to temper expectations, and I wanted to make sure no one was getting too hyped up prematurely. We had no real timeline, and I was cautious about getting excited too early. Well, here's what Steve B. Hoop shared, and it's starting to shift the narrative a bit. He said, scouts say Tatum's been moving really well at Chris Paul's Eddie camp. Now, that's the CP3 camp for those who don't know. Here's the full quote. I'm no doctor, but I've seen guys come back from Achilles tears, and he looks way ahead of time. I was kind of shocked to see how well he was moving. I have no idea what this actually means for when he can come back. I'm sure he and the Celtics medical people have their program set up and will make sure he's where he needs to be when he does get back. But he looks great right now. The report added that although he didn't do any running or even jogging, Tatum was in great shape and had no trouble doing his part at the camp. Now, I don't know about you, but that tweet got me feeling a bit more optimistic. We all remember Brad Stevens talking about Tatum during the offseason. He went out of his way to say two key things. One, Tatum is not ruled out for the entire season. They haven't officially ruled him out yet, which is interesting because most teams would just say he's done for the year at this point. And two, there is no timetable on his return yet. That leaves the door open for a potential comeback, even if it's a slim chance. For context, the Indiana Pacers already confirmed that Tyrese Halliburton will miss the entire season. So Brad Stevens giving us that opposite message is definitely something to pay attention to. All of these small signs are starting to point in a positive direction, which makes me believe there might actually be a chance, maybe just a sliver of hope, that we'll see Tatum back on the court at some point this season. Of course, a lot would have to go right for that to happen. Imagine if by the All-Star break, Jaylen Brown picks up an injury or misses some time, or Derek White gets hurt and the Celtics are sitting below .500, like 8 games under, say. In that case, there's no reason to rush Tatum back. No point in pushing him just to have him return for the last month of the season and be part of a team that's maybe a 9-seed fighting in the play-in tournament. That's not the scenario we want. However, flip the script. What if Jaylen Brown goes into full MVP mode as the clear #1 option early in the season? What if Peyton Pritchard is shooting an unreal 45% from 3 on heavy volume? What if Derek White suddenly becomes an all-star for the first time in his career? And the Celtics are sitting as a solid 4 seed by March 1st. The energy's electric, the music's pumping, the city's buzzing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jason Tatum bursts out of that tunnel. Man, just thinking about that injects a rush of adrenaline into my veins. It would be absolutely incredible. I'm starting to talk myself into this. I really am. I know I was on the take it slow, don't rush the return train, but now, after seeing that report from Steve B. Hoop and thinking about what Tatum coming back could mean for this team, I'm feeling a lot more hopeful. That said, there's still a big if hanging over this. And if Tatum does come back, one thing has to happen. The Celtics need to get a new center. I'm begging whoever's in charge to please add a big man to this roster. Because if we have Tatum coming back healthy and this squad ready to take on the Eastern Conference, we absolutely cannot do it without some rim protection and interior presence. The Knicks, for instance, just extended Mikal Bridges, and I've got to give them props because from a front office perspective, they've done a great job managing their salary cap and building flexibility. The Knicks aren't paying their stars full max deals. Bridges signed a 4-year, $130 million deal. That's around $30 million a year, which is less than the full max. And Jalen Brunson did the same thing, signing for less to give the team more flexibility to improve the roster. It's smart. And honestly, it makes me a bit envious when I look at how the Celtics payroll is tied up, paying both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown max level money. So again, if Tatum is coming back and the team is ready to compete, please, whoever is running the show, get us a center, please. All right, so that's the update on Tatum. And like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. We're not getting ahead of ourselves, but the vibe is definitely shifting, and I'm ready to jump back on the hype train. Now, moving on to some other news. The NBA just dropped an Eastern Conference top 10 players list that came out yesterday. Of course, injuries factored into this list. So Jason Tatum isn't on it, nor is Tyrese Halliburton. But the list itself has some interesting placements that I want to get your take on. At number 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. No surprise! There, the Greek Freak is still the king of the East. Number 2 is Jalen Brunson, which I found interesting. I didn't expect him to be that high. Number 3 is Donovan Mitchell, representing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those top 3 make sense to me. It's hard to argue with that group as the cream of the crop, but then it gets spicy. Number 4 is Paolo Banchero. Yes, that Paolo Banchero. Already, they're projecting him as the 4th best player in the East, which seems aggressive considering he's still young and has yet to reach MVP level dominance, but maybe the projection includes his expected leap this season. At 5 is Cade Cunningham, which also suggests some faith in his development. Then Joel Embiid is at number 6. Now, that ranking for Embiid surprised me because if he stays healthy and plays a full season, he's obviously a top 2 player in the East, if not the league. So I'm guessing they're factoring in his injury history here. Following Embiid are Evan Mobley at 7, Jaylen Brown at 8, Karl Anthony Towns at 9, and Trae Young rounding out the top 10. Now, I understand that from 4 through 10 is pretty close, and you can debate the order, but I want to ask you guys, would you take Jaylen Brown over some of those other guys? I'm personally leaning toward thinking Jaylen deserves to be ranked higher than Embiid right now simply because of Embiid's durability concerns and the uncertainty around his availability. And I know Embiid has been dominant when healthy, but you have to weigh that against the reality that is only fully available maybe half the time. I honestly feel a bit sorry for the 76ers front office trying to build around that. You have one of the most dominant two-way players in the league, an MVP caliber star, but he can't stay on the court consistently. So do you build to win now, or do you try to build for the future? It's a tough spot, but before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers have begun swirling around the NBA community as rumors surface about Gordon Hayward potentially making a surprising return to the Boston Celtics. The veteran forward, whose career has been marked by both moments of brilliance and frustrating injuries, could be gearing up for a comeback with the franchise that once saw him as a cornerstone of their future. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the matter hint that discussions might already be underway behind closed doors, stirring a buzz among fans and analysts alike. Hayward's tenure with the Celtics was marked by flashes of all-star caliber play before an injury derailed his momentum. But the possibility of him donning the green jersey again has reignited hopes that the experienced player could add depth and leadership to a team aiming for championship contention. Speculation centers on how his return might influence Boston's roster dynamics, especially considering their current mix of young talent and established stars. As the offseason progresses, this potential reunion is becoming one of the most talked about storylines, prompting intense debate over how Hayward's skill set would fit into the Celtics' strategic framework and whether he can recapture the form that once made him one of the league's most versatile forwards. Fans and pundits alike remain glued to any updates, waiting to see if this whispered possibility will solidify into reality or dissipate as just another fleeting rumor. The notion of Gordon Hayward returning to Boston has sparked a range of reactions, with many intrigued by the potential impact on the Celtics' chemistry and overall performance. During his previous stint with the team, Hayward displayed a blend of scoring, playmaking, and defensive versatility that made him a valuable asset, even if injuries prevented him from consistently reaching his peak. This rumored comeback raises questions about how his experience could complement the Celtics' current roster, especially considering the emergence of young stars who could benefit from his veteran presence both on and off the court. Analysts speculate that his return could provide the Celtics with a much-needed boost in wing depth, offering the coaching staff more flexibility in rotations and matchups. Moreover, there is a buzz about whether Hayward's style of play aligns with the team's evolving offensive and defensive schemes, particularly as they continue to refine their identity as a championship contender. As the rumor mill churns, the Celtics front office is believed to be weighing the pros and cons, evaluating Hayward's health, contract demands, and potential role within the squad. The basketball world is watching closely, eager to see if this potential reunion will translate into a tangible asset for Boston or remain an intriguing what-if scenario in the NBA's ever-shifting landscape. Another angle fueling the rumor of Gordon Hayward's return to Boston lies in the team's recent performance trends and roster needs, which seem to align with what Hayward could offer if he were to come back. The Celtics have faced challenges with injuries and consistency, which have occasionally exposed gaps in their wing rotation and veteran leadership during critical moments of the season. Hayward's history with the team and his proven ability to adapt to various roles, whether as a primary scorer, facilitator, or defensive stopper, could address some of these issues if the reunion comes to fruition. Insiders suggest that Hayward's familiarity with Boston's culture and system might allow for a smoother reintegration than a completely new acquisition, potentially shortening the adjustment period and enhancing team cohesion. Furthermore, the timing of this rumored move could coincide with strategic shifts in the Celtics' approach, as they aim to balance developing young talent with maintaining a competitive edge in a tough Eastern Conference. The possibility of Hayward returning also raises intriguing questions about the Celtics' salary cap and how they might structure a deal to accommodate him without sacrificing future flexibility. Fans are buzzing with speculation, wondering if this could be the missing piece that pushes Boston deeper into playoff success, or merely a nostalgic attempt to rekindle past chemistry. The speculation surrounding Gordon Hayward's potential comeback to Boston also highlights the broader trend of NBA teams revisiting former players to fill immediate roster needs while leveraging existing relationships and team familiarity. Hayward's possible return fits this pattern, as franchises increasingly look for cost-effective ways to bolster their squads without extensive rebuilds or risky free agent signings. His prior contributions to the Celtics, combined with his current status as a seasoned player seeking a meaningful role, create a narrative that resonates well with both management and fans longing for stability amid the league's rapid changes. Discussions in the media point to Hayward's ability to mentor younger players, adding intangible value that goes beyond statistics and highlights reels. The Celtics, known for their strong organizational culture, could benefit from Hayward's professional attitude and experience navigating both highs and lows in his career. This rumored reunion also prompts speculation about how Boston's coaching staff might utilize Hayward's skill set, possibly envisioning him as a key rotational player capable of contributing in high-pressure situations. As this story develops, it remains unclear whether the Celtics will move decisively to secure Hayward's services or simply keep him as a potential option amid broader off-season maneuvering, but the buzz alone has invigorated discussions around Boston's championship aspirations. Lastly, the possibility of Gordon Hayward rejoining the Boston Celtics adds a fascinating layer to the ongoing narrative of the team's quest for NBA supremacy. The Celtics, a franchise steeped in history and championship pedigree, have been actively exploring various avenues to optimize their roster and maximize their title chances in an increasingly competitive landscape. Hayward's rumored return, while still speculative, brings a sense of intrigue as it suggests the front office is considering every viable option, including revisiting familiar faces who have previously worn the green and contributed significantly. The potential reunion offers a storyline rich with emotional and strategic undertones, as Hayward's career arc includes both impressive achievements and notable setbacks, making his comeback a compelling subplot in Boston's larger story. Fans and commentators alike are weighing the implications, whether Hayward's presence could provide the spark needed to elevate the Celtics in crunch moments, or if the risk of recurring injuries might outweigh the potential benefits. Regardless of how this rumor unfolds, it underscores the relentless pursuit of excellence that defines the Celtics organization and the constant balancing act between nostalgia, pragmatism, and future planning. As the offseason progresses, this whispered possibility remains one of the most captivating and hopeful topics among Boston's passionate basketball community. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.